Let's recap some of the action from the first round of the college football playoffs. Last night, we saw Notre Dame absolutely dominate Indiana. I know the score was only a 10-point difference, but Notre Dame controlled this game and dominated Indiana. Indiana's last two touchdowns went in the last 2 minutes. Notre Dame looks like a contender. They really run the ball super well, and they have a dominant defensive line, and they have one of the best safeties in the back end with Xavier Watts. The only area of weakness I would say they have is the passing game, but they are only getting better there, and they are a dangerous team. It will be interesting to see that game with Georgia on January 1st, but I think Notre Dame has the advantage in that game, definitely with Georgia not having their quarterback. Look, I'm not going to say Indiana didn't belong, but I do think they were a bit overrated. They really need to value strength of schedule more because some teams are just going to get weak schedules and dominate teams, and they won't even be a top 10 team. And here's another example of a team that just got absolutely dominated in the playoffs and might not have belonged. Penn State absolutely dominated SMU from start to finish. I'm not going to say Alabama belonged over SMU. They got absolutely dominated by Oklahoma, and they were a very inconsistent team. Outside of Jalen Murrow, that offense wasn't that great. But if you look at teams like Ole Miss and South Carolina, they were both playing their best football near the end of the season. I know Ole Miss had that loss to Florida, but Florida is actually a good team with DJ Lagway. And I would be stupid to not point out the fact that Penn State would not blow out Ole Miss or South Carolina if they played them in the first round of the playoffs. This playoff system is flawed, and I hope they make some changes in the future, and maybe they need to start looking at strength of schedule more and not looking at the most deserving teams. But regardless, Penn State is proving that they can play good football on both sides of the ball. They kept up with Oregon in that shootout, and they had two pick sixes in this game. Their defense dominated this game. I know a lot of people are expecting Georgia to win the right side of the bracket, but I'm thinking it's going to be between Penn State and Notre Dame, and I can't wait for those two teams to play in the semifinals if it does happen. I just don't trust Georgia without Carson Beck, and I think Penn State and Notre Dame are playing like two of the best teams in the country right now.